Hey, John Sweet.
And don't test the
Thank you very
microphone.
I didn't prepare anything. Well,
Excuse me, Gary and Andre, did we have to get back to
I wanted to kind of give you from a husband, spouse experience of what it's been like for the last 40.
Six.
For the latest period of time. So I'm going to start at the beginning. Working at Walt Disney World in the early days was very close to being in the military, of course without live ammunition. You did not start your shift at 4 p.m. It was called 1600 hours. Everything had a code word. MO5 was Operations Main Office, MO7 was Merchandise Main Office, TTC, Ticket Transportation Center. I imagine the code words are still in use today. We were not called employees, we were cast members. If you referred to the property as being Disney or even Disney World, you were immediately placed on double secret probation, which could result in the nastiest job on the shift, possibly for an extended period of time. It had to be Walt Disney World. Martha applied for a temporary job in June of 1972. She was welcomed with open arms at the fine dining restaurant Tomorrowland Terrace. You can tell us the price of the meals, kid.
Yes. Hamburgers were 50 cents, cheeseburgers were 75 cents, hot dogs were 50 cents. We had two sizes of sodas, 15 and 25, and they had a tuna salad plate for, I think,
Under a minute here.
$2.50.
Under a minute.
One of the menus, you got it. I didn't talk about french fries.
I think the favorite part of her job was the polyester costume, which we had reference to earlier. It was also a major attraction to me. I was hired into the admissions department a few months later, but there was a problem. I was underage and needed written parental consent to work past 10 p.m. That's also 2,200 hours. My parents were living in Grand Cayman Islands, so there was a difficulty obtaining this approval. So I was moved to the admissions office at Fantasyland Basement, across from the cash control office that Andy Crago worked out of. See, there's 3 minutes.
It's a small world.
My job was to sign in and audit ticket boxes from ticket sellers throughout the park in small kiosks. In those days, car parking was 50 cents, general admission was $3.50, and I think an 8-ride ticket book was like $8. On December 30th, I was waiting for the ticket sellers to return their ticket boxes, and was bored. Right across the lobby from cash control was a very cute clerk named Nikki. And
You remember Nikki.
so I was bored. We were chatting back and forth through the windows, and I asked her out for New Year's Eve. She had to work, so she said no. A little later
how this
that
story was
night,
gonna go.
Martha arrived in the lobby to drop off her receipts, adorned in her polyester outfit. So I asked her out for New Year's Eve. I was very shy in those days. She agreed, so we went out on a date and ended up in the stairwell of one of the LBV, that's Lake Buena Vista hotels, to watch the fireworks display. I was also very poor. I will fast forward the courting details, but we were engaged December of 1973. My proposal consisted of, my dad thinks I should get married. And we were married June 8, 1974. And yes, Dad did the ceremony. He only charged me $5. This is how it worked for many of our fellow cast members, and we have all grown old together, and as is the case with her today, retiring together. I would like to tell the story of how Martha ended up in AP. She had transferred from fast foods, as you saw, into that also wonderful costume at the Disney Inn and the restaurant. It was a huge change from slinging burgers to the table service environment, linen napkins, and fondue. Martha excelled and frankly made more money than I did. I have always said Martha and I were babies making babies. We had Stephanie in February of 1977 and Ben in August of 1979. We are so proud of them. They have been truly a blessing and comfort to us. We certainly hope they will care for us in our old age. In the early years, Martha and I worked opposite shifts due to our job requirements. We often traded the kids on site. It became apparent to me that one of us needed an 8 to 5, that's an 800 to 1700 hours office style job. In 1980, I went to my manager, Wilbur J. Moore. I don't know if any of you guys remember Wilbur J. Moore, who was the head of operational accounting, and told him the predicament we were in. She was interviewed for a clerk position in AP and got the job. Now, I should mention that she cried every night for about a month after being hired, but as with algebra, one day she got it. Martha has lived and breathed AP ever since. I am proud of her professional and personal commitment to the company, to me, and our children. And now I'll treat her like a queen the rest of our days.
Amen.
I hope you take a chance to look at her memorabilia. Martha says, look but don't touch. In closing, I'd like to use a quote from Walt Disney himself. And what he said was, when a cast member retires from AP, they don't fade away into oblivion.
No.
They simply stop paying the bills. That was great.
Surprised me with that one.
Want those tissues now?
Got it dry?
No tears.
Okay, well, now it's your turn to try and not make Martha